This video is gold. You know how many times I work with different people in different geographies and they say, Christie, I feel I am stuck in my career. I feel I cannot move forward. I have done everything in my hands. Then I ask, really, have you done everything? And most of the times we come in the realization that the answer is no, actually no. Well, let's talk about your career plan. Well, I don't really have a career plan well defined. Okay. Sending your resume. I don't have a resume updated. Okay, well, add me to your LinkedIn. I don't have a LinkedIn. And then I'm like, okay, well, what skills are you developing right now to get you to the next level? And this is where all the excuses come up. I don't have time, I don't have money, yada, 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 yada. Don't get upset with me. At the end of the day, the responsibility of leading your career is not about the company, is not about your manager, it's about you taking the lead on where you want to go and taking the actions that are going to move you towards that direction. So yes, you can blame the company, you can blame the people, you can blame your spouse, all you want. But my question to you today is, why would you deflect such a sensitive thing like your career, something so important for you, to somebody else? So this is why in today's class I compiled for you 5-step career acceleration roadmap that I wish I would have when I started my career 21 years ago. Yes, my career in call center and BPO. And whoever said you cannot do it, that's a lie. You can, by having a plan and a roadmap. Reality is there's many factors why people can feel stuck in their career at some point, but the number one cause I've identified after working with 12 different countries is that people that are in that mindset, they don't have a clear, solid, a strong career roadmap. And well, without a roadmap, you don't have a plan. That means that you don't have a strategy. That means that you are just wishing to get to the next role. Most likely, you are taking it one day. Might happen, maybe, or maybe not. So this video is a gift for you, something that if I call myself back on time and say, well, Christie, what are the 5 things that you wish you will know in your career that will help you reduce that time to grow? What would you tell yourself for all the things that you have learned? So are you ready? Number 1, career direction. Yes, that's your GPS of success. This is a great time for self-reflection, especially towards the end of the year, to understand what do you really want for your next role. One of the biggest mistakes that my managers have done in the past and directors is that they want to grow, but they don't know exactly what role. There's so many options. It can be within an organization, it can be in a different organization, but you do have to have the clarity on what is the specific role that you want to accomplish. So clarify where do you want to be and develop your career development plan based on that final goal. For example, let's say I am a VP of operation of one country. Let's say it's Bogota, but I want to have a global presence. So define what is exactly what you want. You want to be in the C-suite for global operations. So that means that you have to go regional, probably in a VP role in LATAM, leading 1 geography or 2 geographies. So probably you will have to do some initiative to get from one isolated country to multi-geographies. Does that make sense? Are you following me? But if you don't have the clarity to understand what is exactly what you want, you are going to have a clear development plan. So if you haven't watched the ultimate goal setting formula that I put together for you, go to my description and watch it because it's going to give you some insight on how to create a good, solid plan to move forward. I know you're going to say, well, Christie, what if I work in a company who do not have a clear development path? I don't know what to do next. Well, that's not an excuse. I work in companies that they did not have a clear development plan. You lead your career, you can set up what is exactly what you want. You will have to have visibility on what is the scope of that company. If it's a small company, and this is very important that you are honest and transparent with you. If you are working in a company, let's say for 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the amount of time, and is a local company, a small company, and you want to be a global senior VP or C-suite, how is that going to happen? You know, you're going to be waiting there forever and it's not congruent. So I will say, do not change your goal. Activate a plan that is going to get you to another company that you can actually get into that senior executive role or C-suite globally. Does that make sense to you? Leave me your comments. It is important that when you do have the clarity, then you understand if those opportunities are inside the organization, which departments, who makes those decisions, how is the process to apply, how long do you need to be in one current position to get to the other one, what is the additional curriculum and initiative that you have to have, and of course I'm going to go through that one later on, but the skills, those are imperative that you are very well aware so you can actually move forward. I made this video with the intention of you to take action and do things differently next year. Okay? Number 2, acceleration strategy. And what does that mean, Christie? Acceleration strategy. Once you have the clarity of exactly what you want, then you're going to create an acceleration strategy, meaning that you're going to do an effective job searching inside your organization and outside your organization, comparing the abilities and the skills of where you at with the ones that you want to be. Okay, this is important, and I call it a calibration session or a calibration reality check, because that's going to demonstrate, like, if you are in a director level, what is the level that you are at versus the level that you want to be, and where is the disconnect, so you can then develop the skills that you need to get to that level. It is very important that you understand that the skills that got you in the position you are right now are not going to be the same that are going to get you this other role or this other position. Let's say it's communication, let's say it's with C-suites or senior executive, then what is what you need to do? How's the ability for you to manage conflict, and most important, how do you lead the changes and the initiative? Do you manage the financials, P&L? Do you manage and understand how the financials work? What are the initiatives that you have done so far outside the scope of your people only? I call it the reality check, because you are not going to grow unless you understand where you at and accept it. And this is not to ego hurt anybody, but it's also important, because if you don't accept the things that you need to transform, learn, relearn to get to that other position or that next role, you're going to be stuck in the same position because you're not taking accountability to get to that level. Okay, so don't let your ego fool you. Number 3, create a solid, powerful, mind-blowing personal branding. Yes, my next video is going to be about personal branding in our industry. This is one of the biggest flaws that I've found in leaders who wants to accelerate their career. They do not have a strong personal branding, and this is critical for success. By the way, my next video is going to be the end of this season and the last one for this year, so do not miss it. In this particular step of your roadmap, it's very important that you can have the clarity to know and understand what are your skills, what are your specialties, what are you really good at, what is the additional value that you have offered so far in your career in the organization, your accomplishments, your reputation. And it doesn't matter if it's in person or remote. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. But if you don't have that clarity, you need to map it out. And if you haven't done any additional initiative that is an add-on to your curriculum, to your specialties, then what are you waiting for? You need to start doing that now. Take that project, take that initiative, and lead it successfully. A pro tip that I want to give you on this specific step is this initiative can be either something, a performance management initiative that is only for your teams, but or a site initiative, a country initiative, a multi-geographic initiative, multi-client initiative. Those things are going to take you out of the comfort zone, but most important, are going to give you visibility to also understand what are the problems holistically of the organization. training, QA, whatever it is, you're gonna thank me in that one. Number 4, skills and knowledge development. Yes, yes, yes. Self-development is one of the biggest things I personally have used as my weapon to grow. Not only because it does impact your day-to-day and the level of knowledge that you can integrate to do things differently and guide your teams from a different perspective, because you cannot give to others what you don't have, right? But because this boosts directly your confidence. One of the things that I promote in my bootcamp, Supercharge Your Communication Powers, is that confidence doesn't come from the outside. It's not the outside validations, or not the accomplishments you do. It's from a feeling inside. To get to that, you have to know your thing. You cannot be a fraud, right? What does that mean exactly? Understanding the skills that you need to tune. Those specifics that are going to take you to that next step are going to give you that confidence to step up and do things differently. Be a leader of change and transformation is not an easy task. It's very challenging, not only because you're trying to move forward with different initiatives that probably and most likely they have not tried or done in that specific country or in that specific company, but that you know it does work. So you have to have the courage and the authenticity, but those are things that you cannot fake. You have to feel it inside. And the skill and knowledge development is not to just feed your mind or knowing what is going on, but to integrate those in your day-to-day so you can actually see the difference. When your teams start experiencing that difference, makes a huge before and after. They are going to see it, and then they are going to move forward to that. That's the key of influence, the real influence, not manipulation, influence. Number 5 is building your network. Yes, many managers just do not understand the importance of networking. It's not asking a favor when you want it. It's not having hidden agendas. I'm talking about all the way up, all the way lineal, and all the way down in a 360 rolling with your clients, with your people, within your organization. Guys, we work with people. This is a people industry. And yes, you might think that you can do this alone. However, we are in a community. This niche is very specific niche. Usually recycle the same people. I'm going to give you an example. I'm talking to one of my clients. She's a VP of client services of one multinational. And she said, well, Christie, do you know about this person? Give me some feedback. Then I said, yes, this person, this company is excellent. They do X, Y, Z. This is how networking kind of works. For example, if you are a supervisor and then you want to grow to a manager role, you apply to the manager role. Usually is a group of people who interview you. There is discussions on what you have done before. Because remember, it's not about saying things that sounds pretty. It's about what you have done. It's the facts, your actions. And those needs to be congruent towards what you are saying. So if you have been a negative entity in like this negative statement and you haven't really been in compliance understanding what is going on holistically, and then now out of nowhere you're saying that you're going to be a leader of change, well, that's not congruent, you know? So it's not about your bosses, it's not about your people only, it's not about one single thing, it's about holistically, how do we treat people? This is the golden rule, guys. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And at the end of the day, I understand more than ever that the way you treat others is the way you treat yourself. It's a reflection of your emotions and your own state of mind. When you're clear of where do you want to go? What are the goals? How do you create that plan? What is exactly what you want? Then you can get your roadmap. Then you can get that career development plan. Then you can accelerate it with a strategy. Put in deadlines to what are the skills that you need? When are you going to learn it? Now, I'm going to be very clear on this. If there is 10 different things, you need to focus on at least 1 or 2 things only at the same time. There's no way you're going to change 10 things at the same time. So try to understand which ones are the critical ones. Communication is one of them, and obviously my favorite, emotional intelligence. That's the biggest thing. So wrapping up, unclear career path leads to being stuck. They are not well defined, they are not gonna work. And this is also something that is gonna impact your team members. I mean, if you are a manager and you have supervisors reporting to you, or director, and then you have managers reporting to you, and you don't understand your own career path, how you're gonna help the rest? You need to understand also not only yours, but have the responsibility on understanding theirs. So in that way, you can really add value as a coach, as their leader. There's a difference between manager and leader. So in that way, you work towards someone with transparency and real commitment into advancement and career progression. Remember, you do have the power to change and shift the direction of your career and where do you want to land. Once you understand that, you can focus your energy on that. Put that effort in what do you want to see in 3, 5, 10 years from now, because let me tell you this, time is going to pass anyways. Those 3, 4, 5 years are going to pass anyways, either you like it or not. So my question to you today is, what are you doing today that is going to take you to those 3, 4, 5 years? What are you doing today that is going to take you to that next level? What are you doing now? Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year. Now. Does this video resonate with you? Let me ask you this. How often do you feel stuck in your career, in your role? You want to move to this other position or get that promotion, that salary increase, that recognition. You spend hours trying to figure out what is going to be next. You don't know where to start. You do want, but you don't know how to do it. Let me ask you this. How would you feel if you work hand by hand with the guidance of someone that can teach you specific strategies, techniques, and methodologies that if you work them out and integrate them, can get you from one level to the next? Do you think your success rate will increase? And instead of just kind of figuring out, not having the time, not knowing where to start, what if I tell you I have the solution for you? If you're ready to recreate your goals and uncover a mind-blowing career acceleration development plan for yourself, very soon you're going to have the unique opportunity to sign up to my first 101 VIP executive mentoring signature program from Becoming the Expert program at Chief. It's going to be the only one I'm going to do individually, one-on-one sessions. I'm going to have only 15 spots available, and it's going to be in a very limited amount of time. So stay tuned, because soon I'm going to give you the link to get your spot right away. And what are the things that are going to be included are very specific items and problems to focus on this one-on-one, so you can actually land that next role. It's going to be in Spanish and English, depending on what it is. I'm very excited about this, so stay tuned. Remember to like this video if you like it. Leave me your comments, share it if you think this content was valuable for you and for other people in the industry who wants to level up their career this year. And subscribe. See you next class. Ciao, ciao.